great. Thank you. So the next question comes from our audience, and it's about mango juice.
Uh-huh.
All right. So one of our roundtables featured the Haitian ambassador, who described a very successful project between Coca-Cola and the country to purchase mangoes and subsequently produce and market mango juice. And it's an example of innovation in the face of a real crisis. You get some real credit for this one. So what are some of the other initiatives beyond something like that you think we might be able to?
Well, I came prepared, so here's the mango juice. Let me tell you the story. This is a great story, and it's really about how the private sector and the public sector and institutions like ours can team up. I was in Davos when Jack was there as well, and I had a meeting with a true visionary businessman who is Butar Kent, the chairman of Coca-Cola. And we had been talking, we had done it last year about things, about water. And, for them, water is fundamental. And about nutrition. We were talking about early childhood development. Nutrition is critical. How do you find delivery systems where you can put micronutrients in either a juice or, for that matter, a yogurt or whatever it is, to be able to deploy through their market power and their distribution system, more importantly, ways to reach millions of Latin Americans. And he said to me, and this, I want to do something in Haiti. They had already been providing through their bottler a lot of water, thousands of gallons of water. So he said, what about we do a fruit juice? And so I explained to him that we had, even prior to the earthquake, I had gotten to really try to understand the productive sector of Haiti, and really, a country that lives off of aid will never break the cycle. So how do you create sustainable development? And certainly one area in Haiti is agriculture. And they've had for decades not only a great variety of mangoes, but the worst of times they were exporting about $100 million in mangoes. But with terrible problems. They lose about 45% of the crop, basically for logistics reasons. I mean, the fact that you can't go from the central plateau and basically take the mangoes to a place where they're cleaned and put ready to export. But the other problem is how farmers, and there's over 100,000 farmers that have on average anywhere from 5 to 10 trees. Some were using it for lumber, and the productivity of that mango tree was in really bad shape. So we started doing some work. I said, look, the answer is mango juice. And he came with this. He already had the name, which is Haiti Hope Mango Juice, okay? And his idea, which is using the market power of Coca-Cola, was to put this in all of the, Walmart and some of the major supermarkets, and all of the profits from the mango juice would go back to invest in the mango groves around Haiti. So for a minute, think about the dream of really moving and capturing a lot of the value for the producer from the grove to the supermarket. And I was mentioning 45% loss by logistics, but that farmer wasn't capturing more than 25% of the value of which that mango was exported. The more important thing is that what we learned and doing this is that Haiti is a brand that you can build because of sympathy that people have around it. We're thinking of doing the exact same thing with coffee. In Colombia, 70% of the coffee producers are basically small farms. And there is a great organization that has helped organize those farmers. This is the kind of concept that you got to introduce in Haiti, and what we do is help by technical cooperation and by grants to provide the system to operate. We did a fabulous program, for instance, in Colombia, where you had, most farmers today are close to 50 and 55 years old coffee producers in Colombia. Those coffee producers, of course, their productivity is coming down. So you need younger people to take. And what they did was we provided a loan whereby it's a very big farm. Young farmers would come buy it, but the way they would buy it, it was partly through their salary, and they would given an option to buy part of the land. But more importantly, how they increase the productivity. And it's been a tremendous success, and then of course you can provide all the inputs of quality. The other area, of course, is that today Haiti has probably the best trade agreement any country has with the United States. So here, for instance, all the apparel and manufacturing. So we're working with a number of Korean companies and others to produce not only in Port-au-Prince, in and around Port-au-Prince, but in the northern part of Haiti, which could have a very important impact, and it's very close by to the Dominican Republic, so you can truck things easier in and out. And then there's tourism. And I think everything that we can do to support the productive nature of that country is the best development aid one can do. And so this is why we came up with this idea where, I mean, other than all of the success, I think, and all of the merit goes to Muhtar, who really thought of this, and he personally put a lot of interest. And, you know, moving big organizations, as you know well, is not easy. But he did it in 7 weeks.